Hey there, folks. Greg Shepard here, S&A Financial Services. I specialize in helping folks just like yourself, assuming you're in higher education, get the most out of that oftentimes confusing higher ed retirement plan. Typically, we're talking about TIAA accounts. Okay, this video is no exception. I've told you in the past when I run across a situation that I think will be advantageous or help the masses out there, I'm going to reiterate it here through this medium, which is video. Okay, so this morning, did a Zoom call, husband and wife on the Zoom call. Wife, they're utilizing her retirement plan. They're basically maxing out as much as they can because they like her retirement plan better than his. They're both in higher education. But I've run across this situation a few times in the last, let's call it a month. So, and I have older videos that I did discuss this on, but they have seen my videos. They didn't catch it. So most people are looking at the newer video. So I want to reiterate this. So we all get caught up to speed. So let me set the stage. Let me give you an idea of what's going on here. And I think this is more optimal for those that are maybe 10 years-ish away from retirement because we run into a little bit of liquidity issues with the TI traditional. Okay, with that being said, let me set the stage. Person reached out to me, very analytical folks, which is fine. I deal with analytical folks all the time, but we got caught up. They wanted to be 70-30, so 70% equities, 30% bonds / conservative stuff. Okay, so they got caught up. I kind of let them run with it. They got caught up with trying to intricately sell, 30% here and buy and sell and buy and sell and buy. And I said, hey, let's pause. Let's take a step back. We want to be 70-30, right? Looks like you have 4 contracts. Okay, this is pretty commonplace out there, right? With TIAA, 4 contracts. 3 were illiquid, 1 was liquid. Okay, the illiquid contracts for TI traditional tend to pay more. And this is why it's important, maybe more optimal for those around 10 years away from retirement. So I said, hey, I've done this so many times, I kind of knew the direction of this. First, let's look at your bond options, okay? They were trash, okay? And that's probably pretty commonplace with, I shouldn't say, most retirement plans I look at, the bond options aren't very good. Sorry, there's my email. Okay, so we started there. And you can see inception to date performance for these investments if you just click on them. A lot of these bond options are 3.25. Very rarely do I even see 4% per year since inception. So new money going into one of the contracts, illiquid contracts, that was afforded to this individual, 6.25%. You're not going to find a bond investment that's going to get you 6.25% consistently over the course of time. So they love this idea. So what we did is it was an illiquid contract. Okay, I emphasize that, and I'll piggyback off that here in just a bit. Dumped, and they were looking around 700,000 total. Okay, so we took 30% of that, and this one contract dumped, overweighted that contract with TI traditional to take advantage of, in this case, 6.25%. This is January 2024 for new deposits going in. With the rest of the money, we used, the rest of that account and the other 3 accounts to allocate amongst the equity positions. And what was unusual about this plan, she had 2 different RA contracts. I didn't really care to go down the path of figuring out why. Each contract had different investment options afforded to her. A little unusual, but nonetheless, we had some Vanguard investments in one of the contracts. So we utilized Vanguard in that contract and utilized some of these other investments in the other contract. But nonetheless, the bottom line is when I was done reallocating this portfolio, we had 70-30, 70% stocks, 30% conservative stuff. That 30% was tied up in TI traditional, of which we already talked about the strategy. When she gets to a handful of years away from retirement, they are going to opt for that 7-year TPA while still in service, redirect or direct those payments to the current contract that the TI traditional is in. Post termination, redirect those payments to a rollover IRA, where she'll commingle those monies with other contracts she has that are liquid that you can roll over as well post termination. Hopefully that made sense. But what we're trying to do is, absent of the bond investments, look to utilize that TI traditional, but make sure, in lieu of bonds, but make sure you understand the liquidity issues surrounding that TI traditional investment. Another funny, not funny, but something I brought up to her that she had no clue. she had like $60,000 in Roth contributions, and I flippantly asked her, "Did you even, kind of make a joke out of it? Did you even know you had this?" And she, of course, said, "I didn't have a clue. I don't know what you're talking about." So I just told her, "Hey, you made a great unknowing mistake of sorts." Okay, so if you have that Roth option in your retirement plan, it's not for everybody, but at least educate yourself on what that is and if it's a good idea for you. Most people, it does make sense. Okay, so I think I've talked enough about that. Again, just trying to utilize TIAA traditional in lieu of bonds the most efficient way possible given multiple contracts that you have. Understand the liquidity issues around it as well. All right, deep breath. That's enough today. Greg Shepard here, S&A Financial Services. Feel free to reach out to me if you need some help at all regarding this issue or any other issues regarding that plan. All right, y'all take care. All right, bye-bye.